That is the sound of pure ecstasy to me. That is the sound of a mountain bike cruising downhill at a relatively fast pace. Mountain biking is one of the most exhilarating activities on the planet, especially downhill mountain biking. Second to skydiving, downhill mountain biking is an adrenaline junkie's dream. Downhill biking is an extreme blend of skill, speed, and concentration. The feeling of the wind whipping at your face, the zero gravity when launching off rocks. This is unmatched. However, such reward does not come without risk. A couple of weeks been passed, I ventured to Downeyville, California with some friends. The Downeyville Downhill is a world-class mountain bike ride unlike any other trail in the world. The downhill consists of approximately 7,000 feet of descent spread across over 14 miles. That is almost like going from Lake Tahoe down to the San Francisco Bay Area in the span of 14 miles. This was my third time on the trail, so I was pretty confident of what I was doing and where I was going. At 7 miles in, I was flying down the trail at about 30 miles per hour. I tried to reach into the depths of my memory to envision the trail ahead so I can anticipate what was to come. In doing so, I lacked full attention. This caused me to make an almost fatal mistake. To my right was a steep 100-foot drop-off into a deep gorge. I failed to recognize a small drop in front of me, causing my front tire to pitch and the frame to lean forward. I was not sitting far enough off the saddle to compensate for the change of angle. This result was me being thrown off my seat. Somehow, I was able to dab my foot down very quickly on the uphill side and launch myself perfectly back onto the saddle. I was able to regain control of the bike and pulled it back into the center of the trail. At the time, my adrenaline was too high to realize what had just happened, but after we finished the ride, I had time to reflect on what had occurred earlier. I came to the realization that I could have at very least been gravely injured. The point I'm trying to get to is that we can't act like we know everything. When we assume, that is when we make mistakes. Because I overlooked the trail in front of me, I made a mistake that was almost fatal. My ego and pride almost led to my demise. I was so confident I knew what I was doing and I knew where I was going and I knew where everything was that I forgot to focus on the task at hand. I forgot to notice the tiny integral details in front of me. This lesson does not just apply to downhill biking or base jumping, but everyday tasks as well. We can't become overly confident in ourselves because when we do, we forget the small details that are essential to the task. A saying goes, the devil is in the details, and that could not be more true. If we lack detail, we lead to an increased chance of vital mistakes. This doesn't just apply to extreme sports. While consequences may be higher, being diligent is a lesson that can be applied to every corner of life. Forgetting one decimal in the spreadsheet can change the outcome. Forgetting to write your name at the top of an assignment can lead to a 0. The more you stop and think about it, the more you realize how important every tiny detail is. Remember to pay attention to the small things, or you'll end up like this guy.